Friggin' what up, dude? Strider Wilson, and I'm the host of this podcast that's mine. Going to be called History is Dank. History is Dank with Strider Wilson. Dankness from above. Friggin' what up, dude? Welcome to another ep of History is Dank, dude. What up, Danktorians, dude? Aaron on the sticks, dude. What up, Aaron?
What up?
Chilling, dude. You got a nice new little switch over there, didn't you? Let me hear that switch, dude.
My dog.
Oh, dude. Dude, hell yeah, dude. Can be DJing, dude. I love that, dude. And you know what I think that dudes that don't get enough respects? Two dudes who can do backflips. That's sick as hell.
It's sick as hell.
Honestly, I think front flips are harder. Maybe.
Yeah. So to land on your feet? 100%.
Yeah. Bro, if you're doing a front flip on the ground and you're like an adult, you get respect. You should get a tax write-off for that.
Yeah.
That's sick as hell.
There was a kid in my elementary school who could do a backflip standing. And it was just like, do it. Like all the time. Just do it.
Yeah. Same with my school.
And at the school dance, do it.
Oh, dude. I mean, that's my dream at a school dance, just being able to pull that off when freaking Venga Boys comes on. Just bust a backflip, dude. Everyone goes, yeah. Then I look at my PE teacher. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you, don't start me in freeze tag, dude. Boom. Backflipping, dude. And then dudes who can beatbox. That's a sick skill.
Sure.
It's a skill that parents don't like. It's a skill where if I'm a parent or a dad, I'd go, my kid's an idiot. He's beatboxing. And he has spiked hair, and he thinks it's cool to wear bowling shirts, and he's 15, and I'm a failed parent if my kid's just a beatboxing. But then that's sick. He could turn that into DJing, you know. I think if your kid shows an interest in anything, support it, you know, that's what I'm saying. And maybe it's not even Father's Day or anything, I'm saying that. But Aaron, today's a special day. The day we're recording is it's your daughter's first birthday.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Very nice.
It's incredible.
You've supported a human life for a full year.
Yep.
Very nice.
Still wouldn't survive on her own, so I gotta stay in there.
Oh, 100%, dude. 100%. You gotta be in it. I heard a thing too where it's like, I forget who was saying this, but they're Elon Musk maybe, dude. The Muskox. Dude. He's like, my kids didn't choose to be born. I owe them everything. I'm like, that's kind of a nice way.
It's easy to say when you have $200 billion.
Totally. And hey, you better give your kids $200 bills, dude. You said everything, bro.
Yeah.
You said everything, dude. Give them those 200 bills. You know what I'm saying, dude?
At least 12.
Fork it over, dude. Fork it over. Dude, speaking of kids and stuff, my brother and I, we went to Knott's Berry Farm on Monday. We just said, fuck it, dude. We're just cruise to a theme park, dude. Let's just take the days off from work and go. And there was 2 adult males going to a theme park with no kids, and we weren't even on drugs. So it was interesting. We had a great time. It was nice. It was 2 bros bonding, dude. You know, I mean, it was nice for us to do that. But from an outsider looking in, you know, a lot of parents there. Look, it was an amusement park. A lot of unamused parents. You know,
it's kind of hardcore though. I've never been, but it's like there's a lot of big rides, right?
Yeah, Knott's, and I don't get on them. It's hilarious. My brother's like, dude, just let's go, let's do it. I'm like, no, bro. There's like one called Boomerang or something like that, or Surf City that he did, and it goes upside down and gets inverted, and I was like, nope, I don't do that. I don't do that shit anymore. Hell no.
You're 2 guys there, two adult males.
Yes, bro.
No kids.
Yes.
Not going on rides.
Not going on rides, bro, and not doing shrooms. I was like, dude, we need to do shrooms just so we can tell people that's why we're here. Like, we just need, like, officer, look, we didn't want to do the drugs. We just thought it would be more socially acceptable if we did do drugs in this environment. They'd be like, all right, good call. Also, dude, detectives, hey, mayor of Easttown, maybe find the nearest amusement park during day hour. Go during regular business hours, daylight hours. Any adult male there on his own, he's guilty of something. I'm looking around there, and I'm going, there's dudes here who are, there was this one dude who was like probably 45, wearing shades and a baseball hat, like I was too, you know, and I'm a little bit younger than that, but still a creep look. But I saw him, 2 creeps, you know, it takes one to know one. And he's running around, and he's getting the high score in every game. He's just dominating. I feel like he had a season pass for himself, and he's just dominating, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, it was interesting. But I'm also like, check his trunk. You know, check his trunk. If you checked our trunk, me and my brother's trunk, you'd find a soccer ball that my brother won. And then he actually made a basketball shot granny style because it was like one of those carnival games, you know? They have those there.
That's how you gotta do it, though.
Exactly, bro. He knew.
You gotta. The game is rigged. You got to play it right.
Exactly. He was smart to do it, got a little more love from the rim, went in there, and then he chose a soccer ball. And then the staff, it was like a quiet day because it was a Monday. It was just me and my brother and a bunch of families. And the staff was razzing him. They're like, you hit a basketball shot and you picked a soccer ball. What do? Throw the pitch game and then get yourself a tennis ball? So we were just getting picked on, dude. But that's okay. But, dude, we hit the log ride, which was sick as hell. We hit the ghost...
Flume.
Yeah, the flume. Mm-hmm. Second oldest flume ride in California. I believe the Splash Mountain at Disneyland is the oldest. They think they beat them to it. Wow. Even though Knott's Berry Farm was the first theme park in California.
Crazy.
Yeah. And that's what I'm tying in here. We're learning a little bit of history here. I looked up the Pony Express when I was there. And Knott's Berry Farm sort of has an Americana vibe to it. The Knott's family... probably they needed like some marketing. They're like, dude, everything at Knott's is like a little bit like not as charming as Disney, you know, because Disney's just like, they got so many classic stories and everything. And you go to Knott's and they're like, look, we need to lean into something. And they sort of lean into the American West, you know, like it's very frontier. Like imagine Frontiersland at Disneyland, if you've ever been, or Disney World. That's what Knott's is. It's basically an entire frontier land. And
that's where Steve Martin got to start.
Yeah, he at the Golden, what's it called, the Golden Nugget or the Golden Horseshoe Theater. It's a little tiny theater. They've got his picture up on the wall, along with some other commercial actors. And I say that like it's bad. I've never booked a commercial. Been in LA a long time. Yeah. But it informed my topic this week. I looked up the Pony Express. I was like, that's sick, dude. Dude's, you know, delivering in rain, fleet, whatever. But then I went with something a little more dank and built like...
Sorry, I got to stop you there. It's Sleet.
Sleet, yes.
Not Fleet.
Fleet. Yeah, fleet is like a car, like a ships or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sleet. Good call. Thank you. Aaron, you're a beast, dude. That's what I'm talking about, dude. That's why I'm glad you didn't have the off switch on your mic right there. On this pod, you keep that switch on, baby. Let's fucking go, dude. So I go, you know, let's do, and we've been doing a lot of lists. A few eps back on the Going Deep pod, if you're listening to both here and Going Deep, you'll know that I fucked up. I picked Unforgiven in a action movie draft, and so maybe I comforted myself in some research about the Old West, and we're going to be covering legendary gunslingers of the American West, of the frontier.
Cool.
This podcast is brought to you by Haver Supply, dude. My boy Brad at Haver Supply, he's putting out epic lids, dude. Soft, bespoke, small batch lids and clothing, dude, inspired by outdoor living, dude. Perfect for the holiday season when you go, you know, Christmas tree shopping, or maybe you just go out into some woods by yourself and think, you know what, dude, I'm staying away from everyone for the holidays. Kidding, dude. It's a time to get together for the family, dude. It's a time to get together and wear something freaking dank. Did you show up in this Haver lid, dude, around the Christmas dinner table, dude? People are going to give you respect. They're going to say, keep your hat on, dude. Keep your hat on at the table, dude. So I'm fired up on it, dude, and get yours because they go fast, like I mentioned, small batch stuff, dude. So get this dank apparel while it lasts, and they're also honestly great gifts too. And for listeners, you can get 20% off your first order with code DANK at checkout. Go to haversupply.com and enter code DANK at checkout for 20% off. That's haversupply.com, code DANK for 20% off at checkout. This episode is also brought to you by Dadgrass, dude. Dadgrass is legit. It is, all of its products are federally legal for ages 18 and over. It ships right to your door anywhere in the USA, dude. It's freaking, you know, high CBD, low THC, dude. So it's just a nice, cool buzz. It gets you the most chilled out. You're going to be the most chilled out person at the holiday party, dude. Other people are amped up. They're wondering what people are thinking of them. You got a nice little Dadgrass in your system. You're solid. You're just chilling. You're dialed into conversations. You're saying maybe one good joke, maybe making a salient point in front of your managers. Then you're bouncing, you're hitting the freaking shrimp cocktail bar. It's done. You know what I'm saying, dude? Dadgrass is going to put you in that right state of mind. It's that mellow state of mind, dude. So I'm fired up on it, dude. I'm putting it in everyone's stockings. I'm putting those joints in everyone's stockings this Christmas, dude. So Dadgrass is offering 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/dank. That's dadgrass.com/dank for 20% off your first order. Treat yourself, dude. an era of rugged individualism, 1860s to 1890s, a lot of atrocities taking place. And, it's going to be a difficult line to tote in this episode, Aaron, because I don't want to celebrate what a lot of these guys did, because they did a lot of atrocious things. And at the end of the day, they're outlaws and murderers.
Ultimately, yeah, they're killing people. That's not great.
But is it not anything more American of me than to look back? Because even in its own time, one of the guys we're going to talk about, little spoiler alert, is Buffalo Bill. He had a show showcasing the American West in its own era, like in the 1900s. And like they would travel to Europe and stuff, like they would travel to New York in the big, the big cities and everything, like showing what's going down on the frontier. Like people were always fascinated with what was going on in this, like I mentioned, it's this zone of, and you get these larger than life characters, these rugged individuals out there, breaking laws. They ain't living by the city rules. They're on the frontiers. They're really getting it done and pushing things forward. And then of course, that's the white man's narrative that they're writing. And then the other narrative is that there's a complete atrocities being taking place of the natives and indigenous people in these lands, but it's been going on for hundreds of years by this point. And, they're saying, oh, we're out there, quote, settling it. And it was already settled. They're basically uprooting it. And so a lot of difficult area to traverse, but some larger than life figures, and maybe we'll get into a sort of a thesis of these caricatures and not even caricatures, but these true characters who become caricatures and sort of defined who Americans are for the rest of the world and everything. And it's sort of interesting to hear their stories. And I picked a few, and then we'll have some honorable mentions. So, and I'll probably fuck up who I pick, Aaron. That's what I do. I mess up drafts.
Sure.
Is that my MO now, Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the rom-com one hasn't even come out yet, and I messed that up too.
Yeah.
I messed it up. I'm going to come forward and just say it. I screw things up. It's who I am. But maybe I'm a little screwed up. And maybe I'm just a guy wearing a set of headphones who likes screwing up drafts. Notting Hill. Should have been on my list. It wasn't. Had never seen it. Chose another movie on my list that I really had never seen. I've watched parts of it many, many times, but couldn't remember a scene from it, but I put it on my list. So just
a lot of movies there I hadn't seen either. I had to go by your descriptions.
Yep. But dude, I don't want to do any spoilers, but the one that you had was so fire that we all should have had.
Yeah.
So go ahead and listen, dude. A little teaser right there. Guys, I'm just teasing you to go ahead and listen to that. But here we are listening to a legendary gunslingers of the American West, 1860s, 1890s. First one up on the list. You heard of him. You know him. Aaron, do you know who I'm going with? Give it a guess.
Billy the Kid?
Yes, dude. That's amazing, bro. We did not talk about this. I'm going with Billy the Kid. Yeah.
You got to, because he's kind of the most infamous. He died super young, obviously.
Yep. 21, gunned down.
Yeah.
And he's like this whole entire, his story honestly informs like all of John Wayne's stories, like what he did, like kid on his own, runs away from home.
I was going to say Billy the Kid avoided the draft as well.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, John Wayne never fought in a war. He just did war
hilarious.
movies.
Yeah, dude, I remember they call him out for that, and I forget what show that is. He did war movies. Like, I didn't see you over there in Europe. Like, he called some guy like a paper pusher for the war, and he goes, where were you? And John Wayne's like, you son of a bitch, you don't talk like that to me, you son of a bitch. Come over here.
Whatever you say, Marion. That's his real name.
Is it really Marion?
Marion Morrison.
Oh, dude, he probably got pinned as a kid, dude, and that's why he developed this rugged personality, dude. There's this kid who used to get picked on named Aaron. I know. His name was Aaron. Great name. Love him.
Jeez.
Changed his name to Jake. Got a snake tattoo.
Not cool with it.
Bought a red car. I think he actually got an attractive girlfriend after that who probably has never had an orgasm. So, I mean, I think both of them hate coming, in fact.
You heard it here first.
You change your name from Aaron because it's such a good name. You hate to come, dude.
Yeah.
Did you hear my sick laugh saying that? I love it.
Jake's never come.
Jakes don't come, dude. They just go. I actually would think Jake's a sick-ass name. I wanted my name to be Jake. Whenever I'd play make-believe games when I was a kid, I'd be like, I'm Jake.
It rhymes with snake. I mean,
yeah.
it's hard to miss.
It's cool. Snake Plissken.
But the trade-off is they don't come.
That's true. That's true. And I need, and I'm a very skilled jacker-offer, so I do need to do that. It'd be, I'd be denying myself my own art and creativity, so yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, dude, Billy the Kid, he's a beast. involved in his first crime, gets, put in the slammer as a young kid for stealing from a laundry. Nothing crazy. Was helping out a dude named Sombrero Jack. You never help a dude named Sombrero Jack. I mean, come on. This is where were the parents? You got to ask him.
No, Sombrero Jack, I am not doing your laundry.
Dude, exactly. Yeah. How do I wash a sombrero, dude? Just dust it off on your knee. So then he joins up a gang, does some like small town stuff, dude. He ends up having just innate skill as he becomes a roving ranch hand, a gambler, a gang member, and he's very handy with his Winchester rifle and Colt revolver, dude. In August 1877, he kills his first man during a dispute in an Arizona saloon. The same year, he adopted the alias William H. Bonney and became known as Billy the Kid, or just the Kid, dude. And what kind of makes him become sick, in what you kind of have to like about anybody who's murderous or villainous or sort of outlaws, is the code. I mean, it's kind of why we love John Wick. There's a code, there's a subculture to it. And I think that's, at least for myself, a little bit of the charm in the Wild West. Like, it's not entirely wild, right? It's wild by city standards, but there are standards. And I think that's an important distinction. And
they're not robbing poor people, generally speaking.
Correct. You're going after the railroad, you're going after a bank. And in this case, Billy the Kid is basically, he's privateered, kind of like pirates. And I get fired up on pirates. It's called the Lincoln County War. And there's this dude, it's in Lincoln County, New Mexico. You'd think Nebraska, but we're in New Mexico here. And it's centered on a business rivalry between this British-born rancher, John Tunstall, and a pair of Irish tycoons named James Dolan and Lawrence Murphy. Now, Dolan and Murphy, they have an outfit known as the House. And so they're in control. They had a long-hold monopoly over dry goods and cattle trades in Lincoln County. And then this dude, Tunstall, cruises in and he's like, look, I've got an upstart operation. I got some money here. I want to get in on this business, but it's the Wild West. And they go, nah, dude, you're not going to take a part of our business. So the House, the entity of Dolan and Murphy, they have like this sheriff on their payroll. What's it called? Like the Dole or something like that. Sheriff William Brady. He's kind of a corrupt dude and he supports the House. And so he'll kind of like go and harass Tunstall and his operators and, give them, oh, you have a permit, that type of stuff. And it even gets so crazy where Tunstall gets murdered by like, maybe not the sheriff, but someone in his posse, where they're like, they straight up just go and kill this guy. So this is some organized crime type shit. So Tunstall and his former employees, Tunstall's former employees, to avenge him, dude. And you gotta like that, dude. His boys are having his back. They're like, fuck that, dude. They killed our leader. They hire a vigilante group called the Regulators, dude. And they employ...
Mount up.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I mean, it's called the Regulators. Let's go, dude. And it's got Billy the Kid in there and some other freaking gunslingers. And... dude, so good. It was a clear black night.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. A clear... What's the fucking... I don't know, dude.
I don't know the words.
Sleet. They go... There's a firefight going on, dude. The feud, it gets pretty gnarly, deadly, dude. It lasts for 5 days in the town of Lincoln. Finally, there's a loose peace treaty, and Kid leaves this Lincoln County War with a freaking legit reputation. He's the man, very skilled gunman, got it done, and he does end up gunning down Sheriff Brady in this. So he's wanted for murder. He's on the lam for murder of a lawman. He did shoot the sheriff, but he didn't shoot the deputy. He actually maybe probably shot some deputies too.
I bet.
Then he cruises out, gets put in jail. He gets put in jail. He gets caught by for doing something later. I forget what the hell it was, but he gets out. Then he's hiding out on this ranch. This dude, Peter Maxwell, is hiding out in his ranch and just kind of living there and crashing there and helping out with duties. And, he's got ranch hand skills, so he's helping out around the ranch. And then the sheriff, this dude, Sheriff Garrett, cruises in, and Kid's coming back from, running, doing some fucking ranch stuff, dude.
Is it
probably
Pat Garrett?
This guy, Sheriff, let me see his name. Let's see.
I feel like that's a famous name in the Old West, Pat Garrett. Maybe for killing.
Peter Maxwell was the ranch that he was on.
Yeah.
And he hears, it just says in this research that I did, this little excerpt that I took out, that Garrett is the sheriff.
Yeah, that's probably his first name.
Yeah.
That's probably why I know him.
It probably is Pat Garrett. And he comes in and he says, you know, he hears some boots in there and some other guys and sees some silhouettes, and the kid says in Spanish, like, who is that? Who's there? I don't know how to say that.
¿Quién es?
In Espanol, Aaron, you're a beast. And then even though the kid's trying to be clever and use Spanish and maybe hide his voice, Pat Garrett knows his voice and sends 2 rounds through the door, one of them piercing the heart of the 21-year-old Billy the Kid.
Yeah, that's definitely Pat Garrett then, yeah, for sure.
And I mean, that's a legendary,
Wow.
That's a Wild West story right there. I mean,
moral of
come
the
on.
story, get better doors, right?
Get better, yeah, dude. Get some better doors, bro. And then, you know, shoot first, ask questions later, bro. You don't ask, can't ask. You shoot, you kill, you go find out. I mean, you're an outlaw, right?
Yeah, might as well, at that point.
Fire from the hip and then dip. So, up next, we got Buffalo Bill. Now, in my opinion, I'll say this. I think Buffalo Bill might be a piece of shit. Is that too crazy to say?
No, I don't think so.
Is that too crazy to say? He's a showman. He did look, if you're going to be a rock star, and Buffalo Bill was essentially a rock star of the Wild West, that's why he's on the list right now, is because he basically takes the West and exports it to the world.
He's like P.T. Barnum for the West.
Totally. And he was, they say like here, he had to be convinced to go and start his Buffalo Bill Wild West show and toured it around and put his persona on stage because he was this larger than life character. They called him Buffalo Bill because he would hunt the buffalo for a railroad company. He'd do scouting for the 5th Cavalry. He would even go on, his name is Buffalo Bill Cody, and he would even go on missions with like generals and like take touring militants, like, you know, a French general would come over or like, you know, a Japanese general would come over and they'd be like, all right, we're going to go to the Western frontier and Bill's going to be our scout. So he is like, he does have amazing frontier skills. Like he is an excellent tracker. He knows his way around the frontier. He is a good fighter. And he must have just had like this insane personality. Like they say he's kind of the one responsible for like these tall tales, and just there is a level of, and we covered this on our cowboy poetry episode, of like embellishment involved in Wild West stories, right? And another reason why I love the movie Unforgiven, because it takes that out and it gets the rawness of a gunfight, you know? And a lot of these gunfights that are legendary, like this Lincoln County holdout, or they're not on my list, but like the Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday shootout, like they're real quick.
The OK Corral,
Yeah, at OK Corral, exactly. Very quick. You know, we think of them as these insane things, but that's why I love the Lincoln County one. It's a 5-day battle. Anyway, back to Wild Bill, or excuse me, what the hell am I talking about? Buffalo Bill. And I did want to hit you with a joke, Aaron, that I was going to say Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs is who's on my list next, dude. Just a good guy.
I mean, that's, if he was a piece of shit, then that's his comeuppance, is that.
This guy dons his name.
Yeah.
Yep.
You great big fat person.
Dude, that song almost ruined. I love the song Q Lazarus, Goodbye Horses. Great song. Mm-hmm. Also, when he takes like, who is it, like the senator's daughter in that movie or something like that?
Yeah, it's the senator's daughter.
She's listening to American Girl by Tom Petty, R.I.P. And I love that song, American Girl.
Yeah.
Almost ruined 2 good songs that for one great movie. Is the trade-off worth it? I don't know. While Buffalo Bill is awarded the U.S. Congressional Medal of Honor for his civilian duties during the Indians War, which is basically Americans uprooting
so he's the
Native
Charles
Americans.
Lindbergh of that war.
Dude, exactly, bro. He's a total Charles Lindbergh. They later take his Medal of Honor away because they're like, no, he wasn't a soldier. He doesn't get it. But then they give it back in 1989. The Board of Corrections gave it back to him. Anyway, he's like, and he's a very big showman. He's aware of himself. This is why I called him a piece of shit, because during the height of the Plains Indians' resistance to white settlement, Cody returned to the prairies in the summer of 1876 to scout for the 5th Army. And on July 17, 1876, this is after Custer's 7th Cavalry were defeated at Little Bighorn, right? Mm-hmm. But everyone wants revenge, even though like we shouldn't have been. Like all of those defeats, and that like there was a deal and written by Congress, like awarding the Sioux nations like 50 million acres, like in the American West, like what we'd call the flyover states, but then gold gets discovered there. Yeah. And then Congress goes, oh yeah, no. And they renege on the deal. And they go, no, you just need like 20 million. Then it becomes like 10 million. So basically it's just like the U.S. government is being a bunch of fucking schmoles, dude.
Yeah, we're not honoring our treaty.
Not honoring it. And you got to honor your word, and they're not doing it because they're just being greedy and they're saying, screw it. So that's why all this is going on. And the tribesmen and the leaders, and I've got one coming up, of these differing Native American tribes are like, dude, like we've made a deal. Like I'm going to fight. Like what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? We're getting pushed around and it's just crazy, dude. Anyway, fucking Buffalo Bill goes out there and he knew there was photographers there and he's wearing his stage costume, jumps off and kills this Cheyenne warrior named Yellow Hair and scalps him. And then it's his first scalp for Custer and like put him up to fame. And said like, oh yeah, I'm legit now. I'm a character, not just an actor, for people that were like saying, you know, talking beef. So it was ego that drove him to do that. So anytime you murder a man out of ego and for showmanship, I think you can qualify as a piece of shit.
Not cool.
Yeah. And the only reason he's on here is he was and it's kind of crazy. Like this article I said, like he embodied the ideal man at the time of like courtly, chivalrous, self-made fellow who could shoot a gun and charm a crowd. Amazing, dude. Up next, I've got Annie Oakley, Little Miss Sure Shot. She was given that name by who's coming next on our list, who I won't tell you yet, but if you are a history buff and know the American Southwest, you'll already know. Not necessarily the Southwest, but just the West, because she's an Ohio native, and that was West at this time. She met Buffalo Bill and became a star in his shows, and that's sort of what put her on the national spotlight. She was like an unbelievable sharpshooter. She made money for her family as a kid, hunting for local grocery stores and stuff. She paid the mortgage on her home, $200 on her mother's house at 15 years old. So she was just an absolute beast. Do you imagine that dude just being a 15-year-old girl or a 15-year-old anyone being like, yeah, I'm just going to take my gun, go into the woods and just make it happen. Also, I want to mention about Buffalo Bill before cruising on is like, a big reason why, everyone goes, oh, the U.S. government had superior technology and tactics on the planes. It's like, I mean, they had better rifles and yeah, they had artillery, but like this was more guerrilla warfare. Like your artillery doesn't quite work. The reasons that Native Americans ended up losing and having to take these raw deals is because settlers in the army and dudes like Buffalo Bill, they were over hunting the buffalo population, and the native people rely on the buffalo. And so when they're reaching the point of starvation, they'll take these raw deals, you know? And then on top of that, there's disease and everything, smallpox, and that's wiping out massive amounts of people. That's the true settler. Quote, if you're using that word, settler is is disease. So yeah, Annie Oakley's on here just because she's a beast. We said, if the ideal man was Buffalo Bill at this time, I mean, Annie Oakley, maybe she doesn't embody the feminine traits. We're living in a different era right here. There's different expectations by the patriarchy for the ladies. And, but Annie Oakley's is Little Miss Sure Shot, Little Sure Shot, and she's a total badass. And in fact, she was discriminated against in World War I. In 1917, she offered to raise a regiment of women volunteers to fight in the war. She was like, let us go. Let's cruise. They were like, nah, but she did train guys. She offered the same service during the Spanish-American War. It was also denied. Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah, it was denied then, too. Jeez. But she did teach as a volunteer marksman. In fact, like I read a crazy stat. I think I said this on another episode where like there was something like 10 million or something like that women in the armed services in World War II, and every one of them was a volunteer. There's a few paid positions, but like it was crazy. Just crazy, man.
Well, there certainly was no draft.
No draft, exactly right. But people were ready to rock, man. Yeah. You're going to draft dudes that don't want to go. Take ladies that do. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. So she met her husband on tour. They would like shoot stuff off of each other's heads and hands and their dog's head. Like, yeah, it was like insane. Like real, dude, they would use a dog. Oh my God. But here's the thing, Aaron, they were good, dude. They never messed up. Never missed.
I hope not.
Yeah, they were legit.
Not like that shit-stained William Tell.
Yeah, dude. Well, get out of here, William Tell, dude, punk ass. Sitting Bull he was the one who was responsible for the defeat of Custard. And he's a total beast, dude. becomes like the Sioux chief, and I'm going to get into him, and that's who we're moving on to right now. But he's friends with Annie Oakley, and part of the deal was like he was a prisoner of the government, and then they were like, Wild Bill did some, I think they had like, he did have like respect for Sitting Bull, and he's like, can I just, what if I get to take him on tour with me? And so Sitting Bull's like, yeah, it's better than being in jail. And he goes as part of this like Wild West tour. So it's just like kind of a crazy thing. And I'm sure that was tough pill to swallow or anything, where it's like, now I'm just like kind of a prop for other people to see, is like my people are getting completely obliterated. So it's just crazy. But now getting into the life of Sitting Bull, dude, the dude's a beast, bro. Born in 1831 near Grand River in the Dakota Territory. And he did not die far from there on December 15th, 1890 in a tragic way, which we will get into. So he's the Sioux people, like there's a bunch of different sub-tribes and everything, but there's like the Sioux Nation, and he becomes the chief of it. There was another southern chief who I think was, I put him as an honorable mention on here. Maybe Red, oh man, no, I don't know. Anyway, dude, there's two main chiefs, but Sitting Bull was a little bit more like pragmatic, and so he ends up becoming like, Crazy Horse was the other one. He's the Oglala Sioux, and then Sitting Bull was a Teton Dakota, like basically was like northern and southern, dude, and then they become the entire. He becomes leader of like the entire territory, and even takes in some other tribes like the Shoshone, the Crow, the Sinnebyon, and which I'm probably saying wrong, to fight off, the U.S. Army. Anyway, he defends against Custer and does a great ass job. He ends up going on tour with frickin' Buffalo Bill. He becomes like a leader. He's the one who will like accept deals and then be forced into accepting more raw deals, and just sort of just being like an absolute beast, negotiating the best he can with, the situation that he's been put in. He's finally like, he's put on a reservation. He gets arrested, just basically for defending his rights. They say, even part of it's like, we can go live in the Canadian territory, but it's too cold up there. And then the Canadian government's like, we can't be responsible for like feeding everybody. And so they're just being pushed around, not really having any home to go to. And sort of out of this, in these like trials and tribulations and all of these, this difficult existence, comes a resurgence of something called the Ghost Dance. Now, it's not a new movement. This is an iteration that took hold around 1870. It started like over in the northern Paiutes, which is like Nevada area, and faded out after a few years, but it has a revival in 1890 under the leadership of a Paiute prophet named Wovoka, who, will he'll do the ghost dance, go into a altered state of mind, and they say during a solar eclipse, he was on January 1st, 1889, he fell unconscious and experienced in a dream that he believed was prophetic. And it basically said God's going to come in, and it is sort of blending Christianity at this point too. So it's interesting. It's truly a new iteration, and say that he'll reform order and give the lands back to the native people, and even resurrect the dead. Maybe they're taking that from like Jesus, right? Like their God does resurrection or something. I didn't get too deep into the research of exactly the intricacies of it, but anyway, the big point is that this ghost dance is sort of a revival religion that's sweeping through different sects of different tribes, moving from, northern Paiute, Nevada, east, and going through, and it finally comes to the Sioux Nation, and Sitting Bull is a leader, and the U.S. government's like, we don't like this. It's violent. It's like, and it is, sort of, preaching, like if you're from the U.S. government's angle, it's like, there's going to be a takeover. There will be another battle. And they're like, we don't want this. Like we want there to be peace now. Like we can't have this religion spreading and like people being, disruptive. And then at this point, like Sitting Bull's been offered so many raw deals. He's like, fuck you. Like this is a religion. Like I'm not practicing the ghost dance, but if people want to practice that, like they can, you know what I mean? Like, and they're doing it on our territory, and it's like, isn't your government all about freedom of religion? Although, if we really get into it, is there separation of church and state? I don't know, Aaron. That's something for maybe a different pod to cut up. But anyway, the government doesn't like that. Then they arrest him. And then a lot of these like radical, a few of the more radical members of the like Ghost Dance religion are like, hell no, you're not taking Sitting Bull. He's our guy. And Sitting Bull's just kind of peacefully going. And then a fight breaks out. And then Sitting Bull ends up getting killed in that fight. So it's pretty gnarly, dude. This is on December 15th. And he was compliant. They say everything says he was going to relinquish without protest. But there was a vicious struggle between, some tribal policemen and the members of the Ghost Dance religion. So sad.
That's what happens sometimes, man.
Yep. Get caught in the crossfire. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's something, dude, as you celebrate Gunslingers.
How bad do you have to feel if you're like, we came here to get this guy out, and he ends up dead? It's like, fuck.
I know. It's just a big clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude. And he was a true legend, man. True freaking legend. And then just to round it out with 5, who have we done so far? Billy the Kid. We did Buffalo Bill, Annie Oakley, Sitting Bull, and then perhaps... They say here, perhaps the most famous American, maybe of all time, and definitely in his own time, the most known name is, do you know who I'm going to say? Once again, this episode is brought to you by Haver Supply Co. Dude, I'm rocking my lid right now. And it's dank, dude. It just feels elite, dude. Don't you ever just want to do something epic? Climb an iceberg naked in the Antarctica, no dry suit, just take it off and just feel like a freaking polar bear out there. You know what I'm saying, dude? Don't you just want to freaking just, when I come home from work, dude, after a long day at valet, I like to just kick off my shoes, get freaking entirely just freaking undressed in the house, put on a fake fire on the TV because I don't have an operational fireplace, and sip a nice IPA in my Haver lid, dude. And just be like, made a nice honest day's work today. It feels good. Because it's all about, dude, Haver Supply, dude, it's inspired outdoor living, dude. You're out in the elements. You're getting it done, dude. You're at the beach. You're at a bonfire with your crew, dude. You're celebrating the holidays. You're going on a hike with my dank fiance, which I do. And I'm sporting my Haver Supply at bonfires, on my hikes, dude. When I'm out golfing with the boys, dude, flipping the lid backwards because I drive the cart fast, dude. So I'm just fired up, dude. And it's just a collision of surf and mountain wear, dude. So whether you like to snowboard, or take a skateboard down to the beach so you can get on your surfboard, Haver Supply is the lid you gotta be wearing, dude. So I'm sporting it all the time. I'm fired up on it, dude. This Christmas, they make great gifts for yourself and others, dude. So for listeners, you can get 20% off your first order with code DANK at checkout. Go to haversupply.com and enter code DANK at checkout for 20% off. That's haversupply.com, code DANK for 20% off at checkout. Let me ask you something. What smells danker than chestnuts roasting on an open fire? Dadgrass, smokable hemp, dude. It's thebomb.com, dude. Dadgrass is legit, bro. New York Magazine called the CBD product that convinced me CBD was actually a thing. And I'm telling you, I'm convinced, dude. I will go on my balcony. I'll watch my fantasy football team lose. And I won't be in a nice state of mind. I'll go out to my balcony. I'll light up a nice dadgrass. And I'm chilling, dude. My fiance will even come out and join. And we'll be like, oh, look at us. Look at us, 2 little adults having a little bit of fun. Whoops, whoops. Puff, smooch, puff. Dude, that's the new rhythm that I like to smoke dadgrass at with my freaking dank fiance. And it's great, dude. You take it out. You're going to be going out doing some fun activities, dude. Go catch a movie. A little dadgrass before, no big deal. And you don't have to worry about it, dude, because it's not high THC. It's low CBD. You're chilling, dude. You're never going to get just too high. I do not like that feeling. This does not give me that feeling. Every time I smoke one of their pre-rolled joints, which I love, which I'm going to be using as stocking stuffers this year, I'm always feeling legit, dude. And I'm always feeling mellowed out. And that's the way I want to feel, dude. And the best part is, dude, you don't even have to go out to get mellowed out because all Dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 18 and over. And it ships right to your door anywhere in the USA, dude. And if you're traveling this season, there's no need to worry. Take it with you wherever you go. It's TSA approved. That fires me up, dude. Santa can take his sleigh across any freaking border, dude, with freaking Dadgrass in tow. So let's go. And right now, dude, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/dank. Go to dadgrass.com/dank for 20% off your first order. That's dadgrass.com/dank.
Davey Crockett.
Yep. Davey Crockett.
Nice.
Davey Crockett with the coonskin hat. He was a politician, a bad one at that, but still a politician. He was never afraid to speak his mind. He truly, I kind of messed this up with Billy the Kid when I say he ran away. Billy the Kid was just kind of like, he was running from the law. But literally, Davey Crockett didn't want to go to school. And then his teachers were like, no, he needs to go to school. And he knew he was going to get punished by his parents. So he literally left and like lived in the woods for weeks at like 7 years old. And like just survive. Like the dude is just a survivor. That's like what he does. And then he comes back a little bit. Then he ends up leaving and traveling for like 2.5 years. And he'd been gone so long that his own family didn't know him. When he came back in like 1802, he served in the Creek War and the War of 1812. He was part of Andrew Jackson. Speaking of atrocities towards Native Americans, Andrew Jackson, he witnessed the slaughter of 200 Red Sticks at the Creek village of Tallahatchie. He served during Jackson's War of 1812 campaign, but didn't really have any action. He was more of like a, kind of like a Buffalo Bill. Like he was a good tracker and navigator. So he also made his living hunting dangerous game, or not dangerous game, but also game for grocery stores and butchers. There's a great legend that he, according to one often repeated yarn, they would say that's a good, this is just some yarn, you're spinning it, story. But he once killed a bear in pitch black darkness by stabbing it in the heart with a butcher's knife. I mean, that's the type of stuff that I want. And Aaron, do you know what I imagine Davey Crockett said when he did that in the pitch black darkness? I'm going to kill the motherfucker. I imagine he said that in a British accent, even though he was American.
Yeah.
I imagine he said, I'm going to kill the motherfucker. That's what I like, dude. Dudes killing bears with their hand. That's a fair fight. If you got a knife and you're going at a bear with its claws,
that's a fair fight.
Fair fight. Okay? Especially if the bear comes into your house.
If you got 2 knives, still fair.
2 knives, still fair. And Davey Crockett ran away from home. His house was maybe more the woods than it was that shed that he was living in, or shack, or wherever he grew up. Whatever town. Sorry to say, if he grew up in a shack, maybe he grew up in a really nice house. I don't know. All I know is he ran away from it. Because he didn't want to go to school.
I get it.
Yeah. A lot of his reputation, they say, was actually due to a play, Lion of the West. So it's kind of, that's why I wanted to mention, like, the Wild West was still sensationalized even in its own era, which is interesting. Yeah. Do we have something like that today? Maybe surfing?
Yeah. No, I mean,
like, where it's still going on, but I mean, sports are definitely that, but
yeah, there's still like legends of people, even though they're not.
Who are our living legends?
True.
He's like a living legend. This is a play called The Lion of the West made him a living legend. And
I mean, Michael Jordan's a living legend.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's probably the most famous American.
Every championship? No, he's won 6.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
Yep.
Wayne Gretzky.
True.
Living legend.
Davey Crockett's most known for his what?
Hat.
Yep. His coonskin hat. The raccoon skin hat. They'd say it would sell like 5,000 a year. They were being sold all over the world too.
Big resurgence in the 50s.
Yep. As a politician, he... there was a resurgence in the 50s, because I think there was the show or something that came out. Yeah.
There was a movie, a Disney movie, and then a TV show.
Mm-hmm. And all those, huge resurgence. Do you think he got that hat and his friends were like, cool? No, that's fucking sick, dude. Mm-hmm.
His friends are like, that's a hat.
Yeah, I mean,
stinks.
And he's like, no, man, I killed it myself, and I was like, this looks cool. You could tell this is cool.
I killed it to death with my smile.
Yeah, I killed this thing to death, and then when I stabbed it so good, so clean, the pelt was still intact. I said, heck, my ears are a little warm. Let's keep them cool. Let's keep them warm. You guys should get one. Yeah, no, dude, that looks cool. We'll get one for sure. Yeah, for sure. We just got to find a raccoon first. We'll get one for sure. Yeah, dude.
I think the legend was that he could kill a raccoon with his grin.
Is that really what they say?
I believe so.
Dude, that's awesome.
But yeah, it's wildly untrue.
Yeah.
Probably still need it.
Mostly had some real jacked up teeth.
Yeah.
Which you got to imagine everyone from history had jacked up teeth.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. Swashbuckling frontiersman named Nimrod Wildfire. That was the guy who was supposed to be Davey Crockett, or based on Davey Crockett in that spirit, on that play, The Lion of the West. He didn't want Old Hickory to get any older by saving him from an attempted assassination. Some crazed gunman named Richard Lawrence tried to shoot him. He got off 2 shots but missed. And then freaking Davey Crockett ended up pinning that dude, which is badass. Some other guys helped, but Davey Crockett pinned his ass, dude.
Old Hickory is which president?
Sam Jackson.
What?
No, what the fuck am I talking about? Samuel L. Jackson should be Andrew Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson should be our president, though. You see how confident I said that? Sam Jackson.
Sam Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Samuel Adams, president and brewer of beer. Andrew Jackson, he's Old Hickory. He was didn't get elected to Congress because he didn't want to he was basically anti-government and stuck up for the rights of the smaller man, which is what he was, which was kind of cool. And it cost him a re-election. He didn't want to get into he didn't want to join some other he didn't want to do some bullshit, I forget. But
probably didn't want to join a party, would be my guess.
Yeah, could have been.
Political party.
He ended up having a great quote where he said, "You may all go to hell and I'll go to Texas," which is also what Joe Morrissey said.
Yeah. Yeah.
He peaced out. People peace out to Texas, dude, when they don't want, when they want to do things their way. So that's basically his motivation for joining the Texas Revolution, where he ends up being killed at the Alamo from General Santa Anna. Mm-hmm. They laid siege to the Alamo, and on March 6, 1836, they breached its outer walls. In the ensuing battle, Crockett and some 200 other defendants were all killed. Legends say, he was found dead by a pile of other, Mexican soldiers of Santa Anna's men. But then there was an account that was found, and there's a movie, The Alamo, that's out. That's an okay movie.
Worked on it.
Oh, you did?
I restored it for Blu-ray, yeah.
Sick. It's actually pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, with
Billy Bob,
Patrick Wilson,
Bill,
Jason Patrick.
And who plays Houston?
I think that's Patrick Wilson.
No, it's Dennis Quaid.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Dennis Quaid?
I don't know.
Which guy's Patrick Wilson again? He might be just the army guy that's in charge at the Alamo, and Davey Crockett's just kind of a beast.
Yeah, to Billy Bob's Davey Crockett.
He's the best character.
Jason Patrick is Sam Bowie.
Yes, the Bowie knife.
He's sick the whole movie, basically.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate sickness. Unless you're fucking sick and catch fat hair.
Quaid be Houston or Austin? I don't know.
I think he was Houston, even though Austin should be the capital city. But I think his name was Houston was the general.
Yeah.
And I don't know why the capital's at Austin. I don't know if that was a dude's name or something like that.
It is, yeah. Stephen F. Austin.
Okay. Yeah, makes more sense if it's Austin, but
I think he was the first governor.
Yeah. Austin's a sick ass city, but they say they found a sergeant or a captain of Santa Anna's men, that laid siege, and then he wrote in his journal they executed the remaining men swiftly, and Crockett was one of those remaining men. So he was just he didn't go out in this blaze of glory. He was one of the last dudes. He did defend till the last man, right? But those last few men were just captured and executed. And that's it, dude.
Yeah, Quaid is Houston. Yeah, Patrick's James Bowie. I don't know why I said Sam Bowie. Sam Bowie.
Why did I say Sam Jackson, dude?
Sam Bowie's a basketball player.
Is he really? Dude, we just want dudes to be named Sam today, dude. Brave Sam Y Scamgee.
Patrick Wilson plays William Travis, who is a general or something there.
Okay, sick.
He's a big deal.
All right. Before we move on to questions, we got a few honorable mentions. You got Calamity Jane, Jesse James, Wild Bill Hickok. He famously was killed with aces and eights, dead man's hand. Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, the movie Tombstone, perhaps one of the best movies of all time. You've got Geronimo, another great movie, great figure, Crazy Horse, Chief Joseph, Red Cloud, all honorable Wild West mentions. Who else am I forgetting, Aaron? Probably some more.
Bat Masterson.
Oh, you got Bat Masterson, yes you do. Honestly, just Sam Elliott for the way he appears in Western films.
Yeah, there's that.
For being a beast. You got Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, a little more modern, but still in that realm. No bank robbers on here, but that should have been one, like railroad robbers.
Oh. The reason I know Sam Bowie, speaking of Michael Jordan, he is the one guy drafted ahead of Michael Jordan.
That's the guy. Okay, and who? The Portland Trail Blazers? Is that who got him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. The Portland. Portland's gotten fucked on a lot of picks, man.
Yeah.
Odin, Brandon Roy, Sam Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do a few questions and bone out. What do you say, Aaron?
Let's do it.
Hell yeah, dude. What's Gucci? My hoochie. I meant to send this last week, but I was pretty high when I wrote it and didn't hit send. Instead of getting flavor blasted with extra cheddar, I should have had some dadgrass. I got to throw a shout out to my boy from work, Martin, who listens to the pod. We have been listening for months, and we've both been learning about history in a California dialect that we both speak. Him and I came to one of your San Diego shows back in July and sat in the front row. You had us dying, bro. And I was laughing so hard that you even mentioned that we were locked in. LMAO. Oh, that's pretty funny. Martin invited me to that show, and I'll always be thankful for coworkers that become real homies. So shout out to my boy, my partner on the links. Oh, his partner, maybe just a typo. Maybe he's a little bit still freaking shacked, dude.
Well, you ride a cart.
Oh, you're right, a cartner, dude. Maybe I'm just freaking not getting it.
It's cool. It's a new one.
My bad, dude.
It's a new one.
And my co-stoker, Martin. Sincerely stoked, Richie. Let's go, dude. It's a shout out. Aaron, we love that around here, dude.
Bro down.
Let's go, dude. Bro down for your partner, dude, who took you to the show. Fired up you guys came out, dude. So major shout out to freaking Martin, dude. Richie, good call, bro. Love that, my dog. So stay stoked, my dudes. Martin, never change, just grow, bro. All right, dude, let's see here. I just got a raise for being good at my job. Does that make me a schmoll? Jake. His name's Jake.
Oh, boy.
Bro, no, dude. You're doing a good job. Get a raise. Value yourself, dude. You know what I mean? Squeaky wheels get the grease, dude. You know, if you're being squeaky in a good way, making a little bit of noise, dude, bringing in some freaking, cheddar for the company, they should compensate you, bro. People pay the workers, dude. What do you think, Aaron? I don't think he's a schmoll at all. Keep doing a good job.
Yeah, no. Take every dollar from everybody you can ever take.
Yeah,
the companies don't need it.
Correct. They're doing all right.
They're doing fine.
They're making money, dude. They've got tax write-offs. They've got stuff that are incentives to help them employ you, dude. Of course, things differ by state, but you know what? Take that paper, dude.
If you're in the big leagues and you're hitting 200, still ask for 40 mil.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's a great thing with sports, dude. Sports and society, they're a great microcosm for society, and you can learn a lot of lessons about human nature and culture just through sports. But it's like, what other industry do we ever not want the worker to get paid more? I'm like, dude, Ryan, look, man, the dude can make number 7s at Jersey Mike's faster than anybody, and he's super quick on the grill when it comes to a number 43. But honestly, dude, I don't want him getting paid more. I want Jersey Mike to get all that dough. I want that to go to the company. No, give this guy a raise for being a beast. Athletes, yeah, they make lots and lots of money, but guess what? The people paying them are making them more. So I don't get it. I don't get why we're ever for the company. No one's ever for the company. Everyone wants someone to get paid, except when it comes to sports for some reason. It's crazy.
Even if you're bad at your job, take that money.
Yeah, of course. Even if you suck, dude. Even if you show up work shacked and you're playing internet poker, get paid, bro. Because you're going to need to pay for all those hands. You're going to have to buy back in. All right, here we go. One more than those bone out. I'm not good at freak dancing. Strider, what up, dude? I'm not good at freak dancing, and I know you are a freak dance legend. Any tips on how to move my hips? Kyle. It's a great question. First of all, I'm honored by that question, Kyle. Thank you very much. Here's the thing. It takes two to tango. It also takes two to freak dance. I've got a great partner in my dank-ass fiance. We move in line. We are in rhythm and on time. I'll tell you, it's all about the song choice. I love putting on a little Cisco. Sometimes we'll get moody. Put on a little bit of, who's that dude? It's going to come to me. He sings like that song, Inner Bloom. Sings the song, You Were Right. Anyway, it doesn't matter, dude. A good song choice is going to help you too. That's what I'm saying. Something with a nice beat, something maybe not too fast, since it sounds like you're a beginner. Maybe something mellow, you know, maybe a little bit of David Banner. Drip, sweat, maybe something like that. You know, it's a little bit crude. That's okay, because if you've got a partner who's willing to go there right off the bat, then you can just dial it back from there, or maybe it ramps up. I don't know. All I'm saying is a little bit of Cisco would be nice, a little thong song. Put it on. It's got good instrumental breaks where you can take a breather, give yourself a nice good brow sweat, maybe come off a little bit, you know, dance at distance a little bit too. I'd say that's a big thing too. Don't just get all up and keep freak dancing the whole time. You got to it's give and take. It's rhythm. You know what I mean? How much grinding goes in. It's not all grind. You don't want too much grind. You really want more flow and hips. And a good rule of thumb is never two heels. If you've got two heels planted on the ground at the same time, it's more like you're humping. You got to have one heel up at least, and sometimes both. Jump, you know, and one heel off the ground at least, because then you're moving, your rhythm, you're flowing. You're not getting into pervert mode, which is what you don't want to be in. So keep heel off the ground, get a good song choice, and then take your breaks, in and out. You know, sometimes do a little twirl, do a little dip, have a little fun with it. You know, let her lead. Let her lead. You know, they say the guy leads unless she says she wants you to lead, or with her body says lead. You know, you got to be listening to that body language. What do you think, Aaron?
I think that's all good. I think it's you got to feel that music in your chest and in your crotch.
Yeah. And then you're bound to pop a boner.
Bound to.
You're bound to pop a boner when you're freak dancing. You are going to pop a boner. And then when you do, that's a good time to step out. That's a good time your body letting you know, hey, step away. Because then it won't feel that great, you know. Then you get in, speaking of the Alamo, you Texas belt buckle it, and you get back in there. And you finish off Cisco. All right, dude, when we finish off this pod, Legendary Gunslingers, Wild West, dude. A few honorable mentions. Aaron, a beast on the sticks, as always. Thank you, Aaron. You guys freaking stay stoked, dude. Send in some more shout-outs, dude. I'm fired up for my freaking dog, Martin, dude. That's sick as hell, dude, from Richie. So, fired up on that, dude. Questions, comments, suggestions, anything, dude. StriderWilsonShreds@gmail.com. Freaking stay stoked. We'll see you in the next one. Dank Torians, dude. Boom.